Hunt it here and turn it down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalandi Road. In the merry month of May, from my home I started, left the girls of June, nearly broken heart, saluted father dear, kissed my darling mother, drank a pint of beer, my grief and tears to smother, off to reap the corn, leave where I was born, cut us out by close to vanish, ghosts and goblins, span your pair of ropes, rattled o'er the bugs, frightened o'er the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt it here and turn it down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalandi Road. In Mullingar that night I rested in so weary, started at daylight next morning bright, and early took a drop of the pure to keep my heart from sinking. That's an Irishman's cure when air is on for drinking. Sees me at the smile, laughing all the time, and my curious eye to set your heart to wobbling. Asked if I were hurt, wages I required. I was almost tired the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt it here and turn it down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalandi Road. In Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be soon deprived of you of Dublin city. Then I took a stroll among the quality, my bundle it was stolen in each locality. Something crossed my mind, then I looked behind, no bundle could I find upon my stick, a wobbling pirate for a rope, said my corner broke, wasn't much in vogue, the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt it here and turn it down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalandi Road.
The Papist and the Prod, author unknown. I was born and raised in Sandy Row, a Lisle Orange prod, a believer of King Billy, that noble man of God. My motto, no surrender, and my flag the Union Jack, and every 12th I proudly marched to Finnerty and back. Till one night down in Bangor, when I met wee Rosie Brown, and when I set eyes upon her, me heart went up and down, because when I thought she fancied me, my mind was all abuzz. It was then I forgot to ask her what her religion was. Next time we met, I said to her, I'm a proddy, staunch and true. And she said, well, I'm a Catholic, and I'm just as staunch as you. Our words were harsh and bitter. Then suddenly, like this, the centuries of hatred were forgotten with one kiss. I saved a bit of money as quickly as I could, and I asked her if she'd marry me, and by God, she said she would. When my parents heard the news, they were flaming mad. And so when Rosie's heard the news, well, they were twice as bad. My father said it on, and from that day he'd hang his head in shame. And Rosie's mother said when she recovered from the blow that she'd rather see the devil than that man from Sandy Row. The house we went to live in was nothing but 4 grey walls. It was far, far from Sandy Row and further from the falls. For this is the way we wanted it, and both of us knew well that back amongst the crowd we knew, our lives would just be hell. The weeks and months went slowly by, and then there came the day when Rosie up and tells me that a baby was on the way. We wrote and told our parents. Of course they'd come and call. We thought that this might heal the breach. So it did and all. The rows before the wedding were surely meek and mild compared with all the rumpus that was ruz about the child. The child must be a Catholic. No, the child must be a prod. And that last and final voice I heard was that mighty voice of God. And to his awful wisdom, our child was born but dead. And that night I sat by Rosie's side, and just before I knew, she had left me to join our wee angel too. And my orange heart was broken within those 4 grey walls. Well, I'm old and weary now, and I'll see her soon, I know, because the doctor told me yesterday I haven't long to go. And when I go up yonder, they let me in, I hope, because if they ask me who I'm for, King Billy, or the Pope. I'm going to take no chances. I'll answer loud and clear. I'm just a loyal Protestant who loved the papish year. And when they let me through, sure Rosie will be waiting there, and our wee angel too. Then our child will come and lead us, the papist and the prod, through the golden gates of heaven to the house of God. Gormagood.
Small bit of quietness now, please. Now, we'll take a one from top team each time and they'll go to the microphone. Now, starting with Dick Egan for 2 marks. Who is the Minister for Finance in the new government?
Rory Quinn.
Rory Quinn is correct. Killerwan. No. Killerwan. Pet Hawke. Who is the Minister for Justice in the new government?
Nora Owen.
Nora Owen is correct. John Barry from Kappa White. Ivan Yates holds what portfolio in the new... Agriculture is correct. And Mrs. Purcell. Niamh Brannock holds what portfolio? Education is correct. Paddy Hickey, this round is on car registrations. KK are the car registrations for what county? KK.
KK.
Yeah.
Kilkenny.
Kilkenny is correct. Michael Hawke. CN.
Cavan.
Cavan is correct. Tommy Pierce. WW.
Wicklow.
Correct. And Brendan Delaney. CE. CE.
Clare.
Clare is correct. Ricky Sheehan. Whose portrait appears in the Irish £20 note?
James Joyce.
Sorry, Ricky.
B.
Daniel O'Connell. Liam Tierney. Whose portrait appears in the £10 note?
James Joyce.
That's the man, yeah. Kieran Devery. What bird will you find on the 50 pence coin?
Woodcock.
Woodcock. And Jim O'Mara. What nun appears on the Irish £5 note?
Catherine Macaulay.
That's correct. Now we're on to GMR questions. Individual questions. We start with Dick Egan again, 4 marks. Could you name the Connacht Senior Hurling Club champions?
Athenry.
That's correct. Pet Hawke. Could you name the Connacht Senior Football Club champions?
Tuam.
That's correct, Tuam Stars. John Barry. Could you name the Munster Senior Football Club champions?
Castlehaven.
That's correct. And finally, Mrs. Purcell. Could you name the Ulster Senior Hurling Club champions?
Dunlye.
Dunlye, County Antrim is correct. Paddy Hickey. What county is St. Elchelstown GAA club?
Meath.
Meath is correct. Michael Hawke. Who is the secretary of the Leinster Council?
Don't know.
Michael Delaney. Michael Delaney. Tommy Pierce. Who was captain of the victorious Dublin All-Ireland winning sides of 1976 and 1977?
Anton O'Toole.
No, Tony Hanaho. Tony Hanaho. Brendan Delaney. What Sunday newspaper does Colm O'Rourke write?
Independent.
No, the Tribune, Sunday Tribune. Ricky Sheehan. Who was the first Clareman to win an All-Star?
Seamus Durack.
No, Ger Loughnane. Sorry, Ger Loughnane. Liam Tierney. Who was the first Antrim player to win an All-Star.
Kieran Bauer.
No, that was may have been hurling. Andy McCallan, back in the very first year in football. Kieran Devery. Who was the first Donegal player to win an All-Star?
Martin McHugh.
No, Brian McAniff. I think he won it back in 1972. And Jim O'Mara, the first Kerry player to win an All-Star.
Tony O'Sullivan.
That's correct, Donny O'Sullivan. Four mark individual questions now on Irish history. And I'll mix these up. Now, careful with this one, Dick. Who was the first president of the Irish Republic? Not the first president of Ireland now, the first president of the Irish Republic.
Raymond de Valera.
No, Shanti O'Kelly. Shanti O'Kelly. Pat Hawke. Who wrote the famous song, A Nation Once Again?
Davis.
That's correct, Thomas Davis. John Barry. Who commanded the Irish forces at the Battle of Benburb in 1646?
Owen O'Neill.
Owen O'Neill is correct. Mrs. Purcell. Which city was James Connolly born in 1868?
Glasgow.
No, Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Glasgow is often said, but Edinburgh is the answer. Paddy Hickey. Where did Hugh O'Neill die? He was one of the earls in 1616.
Spain.
No, Rome. Rome. Michael Hawke. Who was Prime Minister of Great Britain at the time of the treaty in 1921?
Lloyd George.
That's correct, Lloyd George. Tommy Pearce. Who was Prime Minister of Great Britain at the outbreak of the famine in 1845?
Was it Cromwell?
No, Robert Peel. So Robert Peel. Brendan Delaney. Who forged a series of letters in Parnell's name to the London Times in 1887?
Pickett.
Pickett is correct. Ricky Sheehan. What semi-state organisation was set up in 1946?
46. Portnamona.
That's correct, Portnamona. Liam Tierney. Who commanded the garrison of Clonmel when it was besieged by Cromwell in 1650?
O'Donnell.
No, Hugh O'Neill. Hugh O'Neill. Kieran Devery. Where did Red Hugh O'Donnell die in 1602?
Italy.
No, Spain. Spain. And Jim O'Mara. What patriot was born at Lissadell House, Sligo, in 1868?
Countess Markovitz.
That's correct, Countess Markovitz. That completes the individual questions on history and GA. We now have 4-mark team questions. Oscuelga. Oscuelga. And you have 20 seconds to answer here. Now, Mullinahone. Mix up these now. Cehe Bannister, Kunde Dunangawal, Sefel. Bannister, Kunde Dunangawal, Sefel Anish.
McGowan.
She, McGowan, PJ McGowan, Town Cartagod. Kilowan. Cehe Bannister, Fern Pell, Cuiga Ola, Imlina. Huigahola. Kuig second.
McCrory.
No, Brian McAniff. Brian McAniff. Kappa White. Kerve Banishtor, Kundale Litrama, and Norig. Stoke Wilshire and Banishtor Fos, Kundale Litrama.
Manny.
Sean O'Mahony. And Mine Temple Tui. Kehe Banishtor Kunda Kildara, Sefel, Imlina. Imlina Kunda Kildara, Sefel, yeah, Ilar. Diarmid early, Tan Cartacot. Now we'll have a score check now for you after that round. Mullinhorn 20, Killarwan 18, Kappa White 18, and Mine Temple Tui 26. Now we have questions now on 6-mark team questions on Irish history. And they're all dates on constitutional dates in Irish history, seeing as it's the week it's in it, or the framework document. So I'll mix them up now. Now, Mullinahone. What year was the Government of Ireland Act, which set up the State of Northern Ireland? $1920 is correct. Killarwan. What year was the Sunningdale Agreement, which was brought about by Brian Faulkner and Liam Cosgrave?
'74.
Sorry, no, 73. 73. Sorry about that. Kappa White. What year was the Anglo-Irish Agreement between Garrett Fitzgerald and Margaret Thatcher?
$1986.
No, 85. Sorry about that. 18. Mine Temple Tui. What year did the Republic of Ireland formally come into existence? 1949 is correct. Now a round of 6-mark individual questions. Now we'll start off with Dick Egan for 6 marks. Who is the president of the European Union Commission? Who is the president of the commissioners?
Jack Santerre.
Jack Santerre is correct. Pat Harkin. Who is the most recent recipient of the Tipperary Person of the Year?
Charlie Swan.
An easy one for you, Charlie Swan. That's the way they come. Kappa White. Who is the new Attorney General? John Barry. The Attorney General in the new government.
Gleeson.
Dermot Gleeson is correct. And Mrs. Purcell. Who directed the recent film Interview with the Vampire? Neil Jordan is correct. Paddy Hickey. What is the principal subject of the museum in Strokestown? Not too uncurrent at all at the moment.
Douglas Hyde.
No, the famine. Famine. Michael Hawke. What famous Irish college will celebrate 200 years of its existence this year?
200.
200 years of its existence. It's a third level college. Have a go on here.
UCD.
No, Maynooth College. Maynooth. Tommy Pearce from Kappa White. Who wrote the Ballad of Reading Jail?
Don't know.
Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde. He's in the news this year. It is the 100th anniversary of the importance of being earnest. Brendan Delaney. Could you tell me what the letters, it's in the news a lot lately too, TRBDI in a local context, what do they stand for? TRBDI.
Tipperary Regional Development Institute.
No, sorry, no. Tipperary Rural Business and Development Institute. Sorry about that, Brendan. Now, last round for Mullinahone, Ricky Sheehan. How many times did Red Rum win the Aintree Grand National?
3.
3 times is correct. Liam Tierney. What's the longest river in Europe?
The Volga.
Volga is correct. Kieran Devery. Soprano is the highest female singing voice. What is the lowest female singing voice?
Alto.
No, contralto. Contralto. Jim O'Mara. What United States university is located at New Haven in Connecticut?
Yale.
Yale is correct. No, I think we have a winner here. Mullinahone 38, Killarwan 30, Kappa White 24, and our winner's Mine Timbletoe 44. I'd like to thank all the competitors. Great show. Thank you.